June 25th, 2022, Homestead, Florida. It's approximately 3 o'clock in the morning and a growing dispute spills outside of the Link residence. This growing altercation would culminate in the cessation of life for 33-year-old Pedro Jimenez. Shot once and fatally wounded by his wife. Enter failed master manipulator Daisy Link, initially feigning ignorance and acting as if she just found Pedro on the floor.
327, all units correct. 47, myself, 54 and 41 road.
Don't move! Do not move!
Units arrival at 327, all units correct.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I see a hole from the back and a hole from the front. He was shot in his head. I took off his shirt.
Is he related to you?
No, he's actually my husband.
Oh, okay. Where is it at?
Right here, right here. And you can see all this from the front. You can see the hole from the front.
Hey, just stay right there, boss.
Are you okay? Hello? Stay with me.
439.
It appears to be a GSW.
He has a gunshot wound.
It's gonna be into the right leg, into the right thigh, and out the right thigh.
No,
hey, just
stay
stay
down,
there, boss.
stay down,
Hey, lay on
stay
your back,
down.
please. Hey, stay on your back.
Stay
All
down.
units correct.
Stay down.
Go in my trunk, grab right there's my trauma kit. Grab me gauze and all that.
Pedro, what the happened?
Pedro.
Where's the ambulance?
They're coming, mama. They're coming.
Daisy's tumultuous relationship is a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence. Her confession a testament to the desperation that can drive someone to extreme measures, as the lines between victim and perpetrator become increasingly blurred in a cycle of abuse and survival.
I'll read it to you again, and we'll go from there, okay? Okay, so if anyone has any questions, you must understand the following rights. You have a right to remain silent, and you do not have to talk to me if you do not wish to do so. You do not have to answer any of my questions if you understand this right. Should you talk to me, anything which you might say may be introduced into evidence in court against you. Do you understand? If you want a lawyer to be present during questioning at this time or any time hereafter, you are entitled to have a lawyer present. Do you understand that right? If you cannot afford to pay a lawyer, one will be provided for you at no cost if you want one. Do you understand that right? Knowing these rights, are you willing to answer my questions without having a lawyer present? This statement is signed of my own free will without any threats or promises having been made to me. Do you understand what that means? Okay, so you're going to sign right here. And the date is 6/25/22, and it is 4:22 p.m. What is your cell phone? And you have that in what carrier? And what kind of phone do you have? Android iPhone. And your phone? And that's who sit beside you?
And kids sometimes watching too.
One, just to clarify something, because when we went downstairs to do the fingerprinting, you told me that you didn't mean to do it, that you were just trying to scare me. What did you mean by that? Who were you speaking about? Okay, Pedro. And what did you mean by you didn't mean to do it?
Just wanted to stop getting me. And I shot it, but I didn't feel like nothing had been. I just wanted to scare him, but I didn't want to scare him away.
So let's rewind a little bit. How long have you been paid for?
Last month made 9 years.
Last month made 9 years? Okay. And both of your kids are his?
Yeah.
What was your relationship like?
I loved him so much. But I don't know why I was just never enough for him. I could never leave him. I couldn't have friends. I couldn't have any social media. I couldn't have anything. I was isolated for a very long time.
But why were you isolated for a long time?
I didn't know what would help me get older. People didn't have friends. I had to stay in the house all the time. Couldn't talk to anybody except my mom, maybe. I tried to leave before, but all I did was be tired of her.
And what's your relationship with him? What was like that?
You know, I heard. He's a different person on drugs. Every time he would come home before, he wasn't always there because he was with him every day, you know, when you work there, when you work here. But when he would come back after 3 weeks or a month, he would be anywhere from like 4 to 7 days. And he would just get strung out the whole 7 days on cocaine.
But do you use anything else?
Cocaine, marijuana, cider. I don't know what it is. He was a big drinker. I guess the more money we began to get, the more drugs he started doing every time he would come home. He could have found an ounce of cocaine. He said he hid in the house. I never seen it.
When did you say that?
This was the day that he hit me in my head like 5 or 6 times with a gun. Like 4 or 5 days ago.
Do you report that? They were in the hospital.
I was in the hospital, but they started asking me a lot of questions. I got scared of them. I went to the hospital, but before I got a chance to actually go in to see a doctor, they tried
What hospital is it?
Homestead Hospital.
Can you say it a couple days, but you remember what name?
My mom flew down the very next day. So I'm gonna say 3 days ago. She flew down to try to get arrested because I wouldn't do it. She even said, Diddy's the baby that she's when you did. He's always on to see you.
And where were you when he hit you in the head?
I was outside with my cousin David. And he hit David too.
At the house? At your house? What's David's last name?
Perez.
Do you know his date of birth? Okay, he's a white man?
He's dark. He's darker than me. He's Puerto Rican.
Okay. Do you know where he lives?
Not exactly. He usually comes down. That was the first time he's ever been in my house to really see me since we were kids.
And he's your cousin?
I have no idea. My mom's brother's son. And they turned back and he had up the left to him.
And David didn't report it either?
No.
How old is David?
David was probably about, let's see, maybe like 29, maybe 30.
This house that you live in now, where we're at, how long have you lived there for?
That was 5 years.
5 years. Okay. Walk me through yesterday, Friday, so today's Saturday, Friday. What was going on with you guys yesterday? Let's start from the morning. Has he been, well, because I know you told me that he travels a lot with his job.
Yeah.
Okay, how long has he been home?
He was supposed to leave tomorrow. He was here for 7 days. Because he did on one. He was supposed to leave tomorrow on Sunday.
So when did he get back from his last work trucking out there? When did he get back? Last Tuesday? Okay, so today's
Yes, I was talking how long I since he thought I was taking him
so he got back last Tuesday.
Yeah.
So he's been here about a week already.
Yeah. Was here.
When he got back, he was staying with you and the kids and the house?
The last time when he comes back now, he'll get free. Whatever fucking reason. He literally fabricates shit in his head and actually believe that he would believe he had a severe mental disorder. I know he did. I know he did. Nobody normal would do shit like that. Nobody normal would make stuff up in their head and actually believe it.
What would you make up? What do you mean by that?
Like, he would tell me how all of his sweat cheating on him. Or on fucking Lori, I know. She would be doing, oh yeah, I know that you've been taking naked pictures of yourself. Bullshit stuff. And he would just continuously say it over and over again. And he would be mad. He'd be like, yeah, sending these fucking niggas pictures and shit. Hey, you think I'm stupid bitch? Yeah, I know what you're doing. I know, like, you could genuinely
So that's what he would say if he wasn't staying with you?
That's what he would always say. And that's what I used to listen to all the time.
Okay, so Friday yesterday, where was he? The other day.
He was with his friend. He was with his friend's house. Kicking. And then I remember I drove by the fence to my sister's house with my mom.
Do you remember what time that was?
I'm doing 5.
In the afternoon or in the morning?
Afternoon. My mom flew down, so she went to go see my sisters. My mom takes care of one of my sister's kids. Like, she's raised, she was big, so she took her to go see her. And I went over there, and then, I'm just talking, shit like that. We were supposed to do a barbecue in my house there with all my sisters and stuff. Then after that, I went home. I had to go home. I went home, and then it was about maybe 10 or 11 o'clock. And he still hadn't gotten it.
At this point, you were home alone with the kids?
Who was home? I was home.
Okay, and what were the kids?
The kids were really young.
So you, your mom, and the 2 kids were home?
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, I went and I picked them up. Well,
Where did you pick them up from?
his friend's house.
Do you know the address?
No. I just know it's on the street behind Homestead now. So I don't know the precise address.
And what's his friend's name then?
Manriquez.
Manriquez?
Manriquez.
Do you know how to spell it?
M-A-N-K-N. R-I-Q. Q-E-Z. I believe.
Is he white or black?
He is white. He was Hispanic.
Okay, and how did you know to pick him up from there?
Because I knew that he was over there. Before he left, it was him, I believe the brother, and a couple of other, when I see that group of people, the group of boys there, I know he's going to be at.
But where did you see him with these people?
At their house. Well, first they came to my house.
Okay.
And then they went to their house.
Why did they come to your house?
I guess he was to pick them up. I don't know.
So he was home. What was at your house then? Because you told me you were home with the kid and your mom.
Yeah, that was when I got back home.
Okay.
Back home.
Okay.
And then after that, I told my mom, I'm going to go back, I'm going to go home. I was going to dig it up. Because I know that he's probably drunk off his ass, and it was just fucking falling and shit.
Did he ask you to pick him up, or you decided to go pick him up?
I decided to go.
Okay.
It wasn't an issue.
Okay.
I picked him up. He was going back, okay, I'm not again. He was on. He took too long to come outside, so I went inside. And he said, oh, I'm coming. He's drunk on his ass. And then you could see he had like coat bags on and stuff.
When you got there, how did you tell him to come outside?
His friend, normally they sit outside. So I went and I was like, well, where's Pedro at? Oh, he's inside the house. Okay. And he was over there. I don't know, Manriquez is really the only one I know his name. There's about 5 or 6 of them. I was there. The boy went inside. I waited like maybe 4 or He asked me to take him to his car to get weird.
Which store did you go to?
I can't remember. It has to be one of the two. There's only two stores that you're going to. They're both on that. One is registered and so one's hired. It's right behind one's hired. It's not registered. It's like a plaza.
187 Avenue? What, original 187 or 182?
187.
187 Avenue, the shopping center by 317th Street, I think it is.
Campbell Drive?
It's past Campbell Drive.
Here, what is it?
Yes.
Here.
Okay.
Either there or at the Sherman, that's a little bit, I don't know, Mexico City is there,
And when you guys are driving, are you talking about anything? What are you talking about?
I didn't shoot on him.
Okay.
He was not 100% certain. Friend. My friend told him or something. I stopped talking to the guy and everything I know. It's nothing serious like that at all. Tried to see him, no. And since he came back, same conversation we had over and over again. So I guess I'm just getting back at him for all the time to cheat on me. We're fucking more, that's good. And that shit takes care of me, does everything for me. I'm getting to this shit to him. He doesn't own me.
Following this interrogation, Daisy Link was booked into the Miami-Dade County Jail, specifically the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center, where she would await trial. At trial, Daisy's testimony will surely be a pivotal moment, as her accounts of abuse attempts to garner sympathy from the jury, potentially impacting the trial's outcome, and it's intriguing to consider how her words will be perceived in the context of the interrogation footage.
Okay. Once you're done with the police, did you reach out to any other members of your family to let them know what was going on?
No, I just stayed there with David.
Okay. I mean, at some point, did you reach out to your sister, for example?
Yeah, later that night.
Or did you send her pictures?
Yeah, after we took them, because I guess I must have been in so much shock that I didn't realize I was covered in blood. I didn't realize they were there.
And just to be clear, showing you Defense Exhibit C and B. Are these the pictures you sent to your sister?
I sent a few more. I had more than one gash on my head.
You sent her a bunch of pictures, but these are two of the pictures that you sent to me.
Yes.
At some point, does your sister come to you? Do you get together with her?
Yeah, Crystal came the next day, after I had woke up.
After you woke up?
Yeah, I passed out.
Okay. Tell me about that. When was it that you passed out? Around what time? And for how long?
I stayed up roughly till, I'm gonna say, about 5, maybe 6 in the morning, give or take. And yeah, David stayed with me because he was worried that if I fell asleep prior to that, sooner, that I could have a concussion. So I stayed up as long as I could, and then I passed out.
Do you know around how long you were out for?
I woke up maybe around 5 or 6 in the afternoon, but I only woke up because my son was screaming. He thought I was dead.
Okay. So you wake up and then what? You get together with Crystal at that point?
From there, Crystal comes to the house, and when she sees my head, she begins to basically go get frantic. She wanted me to go to the hospital, and at first I was rebuttaling it, that I'll be fine. But from what she says, it looked pretty bad, that she could see my skull on multiple spots.
All right. So did you go to the hospital at that point?
I went.
All right. So and Crystal, she stayed with your kids so that you can do it, correct?
Correct.
All right. All right. So you go to the hospital. After you're done with the hospital, at some point, do you have contact with Pedro again?
Yeah. Yes.
When is this initial contact? Is it like what, 2 days or a day and a half after after the pistol whipped you, or more than
Like
that?
physical, like in person, this was about, I'm gonna say, the next day, and that was to try to get the dogs back.
Okay. What, if anything, did Pedro tell you when you saw him?
The first time he wasn't giving them up, so I didn't.
Well, I don't want to talk about the dogs. I'm specifically.
Okay.
What, if anything, is he telling you in reference to what he just did to you a couple of days before?
So 2 days later, he wanted to talk to me. He was telling me in the messages and stuff how much he loved me and how sorry he was, that he just wanted to come home to be with me because he missed me and he seen me there with some random guy, but that he loved me and he was sorry.
So, first off, why did you agree to be in the same place as the person who had just done that to you?
He was already sober. Like, I wasn't scared of him when he was sober. It was when he was a monster on drugs that I was scared. When he was on drugs, he was a monster.
When he pistol whipped you, as far as you know, was he on drugs?
Yeah.
Objection, hearsay.
Oh. Yes, he was.
When you spoke to him after that, a couple days after that, and you said that he apologized to you, he did, as far as you know, he was not on drugs, is that correct?
At that point in time, no, because his parents didn't allow that in their house. So when he would go over there, basically, he was clean.
And can you tell us or explain to us why you wouldn't have just called the police as soon as he did that to you?
I couldn't. That's one, he would have gotten deported. Two, he wasn't allowed to be with the kids at all by himself, or when his mom wasn't around. I would have gotten the kids taken away. And that's the father of my kids. It's not like I didn't love him. I did.
I understand. All right, so he says he's sorry. Did you accept and believe his apology?
I did.
And were you guys okay at that point?
At that point, I took him back home with me.
Okay. Now, when you say you took him back home, what does that mean? Does that mean we're family again, or does that mean something else?
No.
What does it mean?
That just means that I forgave him.
So you took him back home, and did he stay with you that night?
That night, I picked the kids up from Crystal's house again, And he stayed at the house and he slept with Pedro Jr.
Did Pedro and your daughter, did they have a room together?
Yeah.
Okay. What do they have? Do they have bunk beds?
Yeah.
So he stayed in the room with the bunk beds?
Yeah. And Mia slept with me.
Okay. So I'm guessing Pedro slept on the bottom bunk and Pedro Jr. slept on the top bunk.
Well, unless he got a top, but no. Yeah.
But Pedro's a big guy, right? So he's better off on the bottom bunk.
He's pretty big.
Okay, so that was that night. What about the next night? What if any interaction is going on with you and Pedro the following day?
The next day, I remember he took me out to eat with the kids. He took me to Dave and Buster's. He bought me a new ring, this really nice Indian face ring, because he knew I loved those gold Indian face rings. And we had a good time with each other.
All right. And that night, did he stay at your residence?
He did.
Okay. Did he sleep with you, or did he sleep in the bunk beds?
He slept with the kids, but I had sex with him, if that's what you're asking. He slept with me, but didn't sleep with me.
Okay. So you were intimate with him at some point, but he didn't sleep with you through the night.
No.
All right. And during these 2 days where you're spending these 2 days with him, as far as you know, was he using any drugs, getting intoxicated, anything like that?
No.
So I want to fast forward to June 24th. I want to start at the beginning. Was Pedro come to your house, or did he stay at your house from the night before?
In that day.
This is just so we're clear. This is the day leading up to the early morning hours where he died. Okay.
No, that day. I believe I picked him up from his mom's house because he was working with his semi over there. He had to wash his clothes and get all his stuff ready because the next day he was leaving.
Okay, so he was staying at his mom's house. The address is on his license.
Correct.
You went to go pick him up over there, I guess, early in the day?
Around like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, around there.
All right. You pick him up and you go where?
I took him to my house.
To your house. Was there anybody else at your house at that time when you got there?
My mom.
Your mom?
Yes.
Your mom had come down from Texas, right?
Yes.
Why did your mom come down from Texas?
Objection, hearsay.
You can ask.
She wanted one to get him arrested, which I would not allow. So, after the fact, we agreed to go back.
Mom?
Yes.
Your mom had come down from Texas, right?
Yes.
Why did your mom come down from Texas?
Objection, hearsay.
You can ask.
She wanted one to get him arrested, which I would not allow. So, after the fact, we agreed to go back together.
To Texas?
To Texas.
Okay. And the plan was for you to finally leave to Texas when?
He was supposed to leave Sunday.
When you say he was supposed to leave, are you talking about Pedro?
Pedro was supposed to leave on Sunday. So
let me stop you. I'm sorry. you say he was supposed to leave. Are you saying that he was going to leave in his truck to go work?
Yes.
So he's going to go on a road trip for work?
He leaves out of town, and I wouldn't see him for sometimes 2 months at a time. So he was getting ready to leave for work. He was an interstate truck driver. And I brought him over to, I'm sorry.
All right, so the plan was once he's gone on the road trip, that's when you're going to move? And
that's when we were going to move. We were just waiting for him to leave so he wouldn't know.
Okay. All right, so you said that you picked him up at his mother's house, you brought him over, your mom was at your house, your kids were at your house, right?
Yes.
Right. At some point, does he leave?
Yeah, I'm going to say around maybe anywhere from like 45 minutes, an hour later.
Okay, how was it that he leaves?
A white van came, and I know Kevin was in there with Kevin Bonilla.
Yeah.
And a couple of his friends were with them, and they came and they picked him up.
So Kevin Bonilla and a couple of Pedro's friends drove over there, and he left with them in their white van, is what you're saying?
Yes. He, before he left, he told me later to pick him up.
Pedro told you to pick him up?
Yeah, because he didn't have his car. I know a tree fell on his car at the base that he works at in Orlando. So he currently didn't have his own car.
Did Pedro have a phone at that point?
No, he didn't.
Okay. So he told you to pick him up. Did he tell you when to pick him up?
He just told me later. So for me, I knew later usually would have been if he were to have called me from anybody else's phone, it probably would have been about 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm not picking him up at 3 or 4 in the morning. So I went like around maybe 10 or 11 o'clock.
Okay, so you went to pick him up and you brought him back?
Yeah.
While you were driving back home after picking him up at Kevin's house,
he did have a phone though, but he disconnected it. I just wanted to, so that way,
Pedro disconnected his phone.
He disconnected the phone and he ordered another one, and it hadn't came yet because he threw the phone in the yard, somebody's yard, the night of the bludgeoning. So
after he pistol whipped you, he tossed his phone.
So if the police wouldn't they wouldn't trace it.
Okay. So you pick him up, you're on your way back home. It's around, 10 o'clock at night, more or less?
More or less.
Right. On the car ride back, what, if anything, is going on?
Initially, we were supposed to take him back to his mom's house. But once we get to the store, he asked me to take him to get some beer. So I took him. Once he got it, I realized that the keys, we didn't have them. So
Keys to what?
The keys to his mom's house.
Okay, so Pedro left the keys to his mom's house in your house?
Yeah, it was right next to the front door on top of a china cabinet.
Okay, so just to be clear, when you went to pick him up at Kevin's house, your plan was to take Pedro to his mother's house?
Yes.
Your plan wasn't to bring him back initially?
No, not initially, no.
Right. But at some point, you realize you don't have his keys and he needs his keys, right?
Correct.
Were his parents out of town or something?
His dad was the only one that lived there. His mom left his dad for a period of time.
Okay. All right, so you went back to your house so that he can get his keys, right?
Yes.
And what happens?
When I told him basically that the keys are at the house, he said, well, just go back anyways. He wanted to see the kids, tell them goodbye because he had to leave in the morning. So I took him and he got out. And he began to talk to my mom once we got there. And I don't know how or where the conversation just went from, it took a whole 180 turn. And I just remember by the time I got my stuff out of the car, the kids' bags and stuff from earlier, I just hear him going off with my mom saying how I was a whore and how he knows that I was fucking this boy, this other guy.
Okay. At some point, does he leave?
After he choked me the first time, yeah.
Okay, what happened with that? How did that come about, him choking?
I kept denying it, so he began to get angry. And from there, the first time he grabbed me by my throat, and my mom threatened to call the police. So he let go, and then he ran to the back of the alley, where the alley was.
So he ran away after choking you, and after your mom told him that she was going to call the police, correct?
Right.
Okay. Before my next question, Judge, I would ask that what's marked as Defense Exhibit A4 for identification be admitted.
No objection, subject to jury instruction.
Sorry, can you admit what? Defense A4 marked for IG now becomes defense number F.
F, right?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge. You had an F.
So Daisy, I'm showing you what's in evidence as Defense Exhibit F. This is an order that addresses Pedro's parental rights. I want to direct you to one moment. I want to direct you to the second page where it says, visitation for Pedro Jimenez with the child, Pedro Jimenez and Mia Jimenez, shall be as follows. The mother may supervise FaceTime calls at her discretion. The father shall have supervised visits at a minimum.
Hold on. Is there a question?
Yes, if I can finish.
Go.
Father shall have supervised visits at a minimum of 1 time per month, supervised by the paternal grandmother. Who is the paternal grandmother?
Pedro's mom.
Pedro's mom. So Pedro was allowed to have 1 visit per month. Pedro was allowed to have 1 visit per month with his children, as long as it was supervised by Pedro's mother. Correct?
Yes.
In June of 2022, where did Pedro's mother live?
She moved to Georgia. She separated with her husband because he was abusive.
Would she frequently come back to Florida from Georgia, as far as you know?
No.
All right. So, Pedro chokes you. Your mother tells him, I'm going to call the police. He leaves. Does he come back at some point?
He kept coming back, talking, I guess, to my mother. He was hysterical. And then I would talk.
Did it appear to you, based on knowing him, that he was under the influence of anything?
Oh, he was. When I picked him up from Kevin's house, I walked in on him buying 6 bags of cocaine.
Okay. So he wasn't the sober person that you had dealt with a couple of days before, right?
No.
Right. So when he comes back after your mother initially threatened to call the police, what happens when he came back?
The first time he began he was hysterical, telling me how I betrayed him, how he gave me everything. I threw 9 years down the drain. And he again tried to, as I denied it again. Clearly he had his facts in order, he knew, but I wasn't.
Hold on. Remember when your objection was paused?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so overruled, you continue asking.
Yeah. Clearly he knew, but I just wasn't at that stage yet to admit, you know, that I had moved on. So at that point, because I kept denying it, he got angry again, and I had pulled the gun out on him.
Hold on. You're going on a little too long. So
Okay.
So if the objection is sustained, we're going to have to ask you another question.
So he's upset because he suspects that you're with another man or seeing another man, right?
Yes.
Okay. You said that he was very agitated?
Yes.
Okay. So he kept pressing the issue, and then what, if anything, does he do at this moment?
At that point, he grabbed me again, and this time I had the gun in close range.
What'd you do?
I pointed it at him.
And what'd you say?
To leave.
Did he?
He ran.
He ran away?
He ran away.
At some point after that, does he come back?
Yes.
All right. What happens when he comes back? This third time now he's coming back, right? All right. What happens this third time that he comes back?
It's the same thing. Basically.
What
the same thing. Just hysterical, crying, basically saying I ruined their entire family, whatnot.
Hold on. Let's all try to speak up. So there's an objection. It's a little you can finish.
Sorry. And then as he began to draw closer, at this point, I'm already scared. I can see that he's using, I can see that he's been using all day. From what happened a couple days before, my head is still healing. I'm beginning to be scared now.
Sustain narrative. Mr. Tomas is going to ask another question.
Okay.
So you're still recovering from your wounds, right?
Yes.
How are your wounds feeling, and what state are they in at that point that it's been a few days?
I mean, they're dry, but they're very open still.
Do they still hurt?
Yes.
All right, so you're feeling that, right? He's already left a couple of times, and now he's coming back. Is his demeanor escalating?
It is.
Okay. So now this time, again, when he's come back, what happens?
The last time?
Well, I want to go in order. So this is the third time. I'm not. How many times did you leave and come back?
Well, I went to go look for my purse.
Why'd you go look for your purse?
He took it out of the car with my phone and everything inside of it. But he kept going to the alley. And he didn't have it with him when he came back the second time. So I assumed he has it hidden somewhere, maybe right there by the end of the alley.
All right, so at what point is it that you realize or notice that your purse is missing?
At this point now, this is like maybe 11, well, this is 12, around 12. This is right before my mom had left.
All right, was there anything in your purse that you needed?
Well, my phone, my credit cards. I know I had the keys still on me. And aside from that, no, just the phone, the credit cards, and I had some jewelry in there, so.
Okay, so you've got your keys on your person, right?
Yes.
But your purse contained your credit cards and, importantly, your cell phone.
Yes.
And your purse was missing.
Yes.
All right, so I think you said you went to the alley to look for it?
I went to the alley. I had already not seen him come back for roughly, I'm gonna say, about 20 minutes, so I assume maybe he left.
Okay.
So I put the gun on top of the china cabinet, and I walked to the alley to look around the palm trees, see if was probably there. And as soon as I got around the area, he ran up from behind one of the bushes and grabbed me by my throat and threw me on the floor.
Okay, and when he threw you on the floor, what did you do?
He could see my mom, like, just screaming, saying the same thing again, that that's it, I'm gonna call the police. And he just took off again.
Took off again. All right. So this happens, takes off again. Your mom is still there. Does he come back again while your mom was still there?
No, that's the last time.
Okay, so when he comes back later, your mom's already gone, right?
At that point, she left because I wouldn't let her call the police. So she just said she was tired of it. So she left. She really called my sister to pick her up.
All right, so she got picked up and she left around, as best you can recall, around what time was it that your mom left?
I'm gonna say about, it could be possible from anywhere around 1:30, maybe 2.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so your mom leaves, so you're left there and your kids are there too, correct?
Yes, I had them inside of my room. They were locked in.
Okay. Were they, I mean, this is already late. Are they sleeping as far as you know?
Yeah, the babies are asleep.
Okay. All right, so tell me about when you, actually before I get to that point, do you recall a video that we saw a couple of days ago where Pedro is running across the screen and then you come out and you open the car door and then you yell at him?
Yes.
Okay. What was happening in that video?
That was after the first time when he grabbed me by my throat. And no, the second time when he grabbed me by my throat and I pulled the gun out on him. That's why he ran. Okay.
And do you remember, because in the video we can hear you yelling, but it's hard to make out what you're saying. Do you recall what you were saying in that instance?
I was yelling at him to leave, to stop coming back.
Okay. All right, so I want to get to the point where he comes back the final time. Tell me about that. How did that happen?
He had already not came back for a little, for a little while. I went outside to smoke a cigarette on the back porch. And I had the gun with me. And he came again. And he began telling me again how I was sleeping with this other guy. That the guy was a friend, was his friend's boyfriend. And I just got tired of lying to him. So I told him.
You told him you were sleeping with somebody else?
I did.
Okay. What happened when you did that?
I told him I was sorry. And he charged at me. He called me a fucking whore. He said that he gave me everything. I gave you everything.
Stop. We need to keep our voices up and we object. So there's an objection. Overruled, you can continue answering.
He said, "You fucking bitch, I gave you everything. I gave you fucking everything." And then from there, he charged at me. He grabbed me by my hair. He threw me to the floor.
Now, when he threw you to the floor and grabbed you by your hair, did you still had those wounds, right?
Yeah, I could already feel right then and there that they ripped open.
Okay. He
So
threw you to the floor.
he threw me to the floor.
After he throws you to the floor, what do you do?
I grabbed the gun from the slab.
Okay, and what did you do once you got the gun?
I pointed at him and I told him, leave already.
Did you?
No, he told me that he didn't give a fuck.
They're objecting to hearsay.
Did you hear when someone said, here's the
I
objection?
did. I'm sorry.
It's alright. There's an objection, overruled, and
He told me that he was gonna lock me out of the house and that I was gonna sleep outside. When I began to walk towards him and I said, no, you're not, you're gonna leave. He said, I don't give a fuck, bitch, I'm ready to die, you could kill me. And he began to run towards the house.
And what did you do when you see him running towards the house to lock you out?
I took the shot.
Were you aiming to hit him?
I initially aimed towards the floor as I lifted up the gun. I didn't expect for it to hit him. I just thought the sound was gonna scare him off this time for good.
So immediately before you pulled the trigger, he was going towards your door and he was gonna barricade himself inside the home, as far as you knew, right?
He was.
All right. As soon as you fired that shot, did he abandon that intention and run off in a different direction?
He changed course, yes.
Okay, and he took off, right?
He began to run in a different direction, yes.
As he was running away after you fired the shot, did he appear injured? Did he appear like he was shot or hurt?
No,
or?
not at all. I didn't. That's why I didn't think he was hit at all.
Okay. I mean, did he say anything after you shot, like, ow, or you shot me, or anything like that?
I heard, like, it was very faintly, but it was like, ah. So as a couple seconds began to pass by, now I'm a little scared. Did he get hit? I don't know. That's where I began to walk towards the front of the house.
Okay, what did you do with the gun at that point?
I still had it in my hand.
Okay, at some point did you put it somewhere?
After I circled around the house entirely, I threw it inside of the tree right in front of my door.
Right in front of your front door?
Yes.
Okay. So you hid it somewhere where you would have access to it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. At some point, do you find Pedro?
At some point I did after I heard the wailing, yes.
Okay, so he was wailing and that's how you were able to locate where he was? Is that right?
Yes.
All right, so you go to him and what do you see and what do you do?
I see him laying there as I get out of the car and I run up to him and I begin to ask him, where is it at? I begin to ask him, where is it at? He couldn't tell me. He was disoriented. From there, I start to look for where it is that he was hit. I start to look for the phone.
When you say the phone, your phone?
Yes.
Because at this point, you still don't have your phone.
Yes.
All right. So before we get back to Pedro, at some point did you find your phone?
I found the phone. It was roughly about 2 feet away from his body.
It was laying next to his body?
It was laying next to his body, like maybe he had it in his hand or he was trying to use it.
Okay.
But he collapsed.
And did you call anybody when you found the phone?
I called 911.
All right. At some point, did you try to render aid to him in some way?
At that point, I was just on autopilot. I began stripping his shirt off, ripping it off, lifting up his leg, tying a tourniquet around his leg, and then I even tried as much as to lift him up, but one of his legs, he couldn't stand on it at all. He couldn't move.
Was that the leg that was shot, or was it the other leg?
It was the other leg.
It was the other leg?
Yes.
So he's got a bullet hole in one leg, but the other leg, that's the one that he couldn't move?
Yes.
Did you know why he couldn't move it?
No, and when I would ask him what happened as far as to the leg, he couldn't tell me. He couldn't, nothing at all.
Okay. All right, so we saw the footage earlier in the trial when the police get there and what happened after that. Now we know that you didn't tell them. You weren't completely candid with them at first, with the police, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to us why you didn't just tell them everything from the get-go and why it took a little while before you could get to that?
They would have taken my kids.
Why do you say they would have taken your kids?
He wasn't supposed to be around. He wasn't supposed to be around the house at all. His mom was supposed to supervise them. He wasn't allowed to be there at all.
So you were afraid that because you were, if I'm correct, you're saying that you were concerned that because you were giving Pedro more visits than he was entitled to under that order, that they might penalize you. They might penalize you and possibly take away your kids, and that was a concern for you, correct?
Yeah.
All right. At some point you were handcuffed while you were still at your house or in the area of your house, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened? When did that happen, or how did that happen?
Well, I kept asking the officers the entire night. I was asking the officers the entire night whether they had resuscitated him or not. So I was pretty hysterical because they wouldn't tell me. They said I had to wait for the investigator to arrive for me to know anything as far as what's going on with him. In the process, I was calling hospitals to see where he was at, admitted. Finally, the investigator arrived, and as I walked up to him, I asked,
"Objection, hearsay,"
if he was still alive, and immediately he told me no. I threw myself to the floor. I started to scream. I started crying. And
okay, so that's when you get confirmation that Pedro's dead.
Yes.
All right, you said you threw yourself to the floor. You were emotional.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Pedro opens the door. I guess he woke up.
Pedro Jr.
Yeah, he opened the door. He was locked in the room, so he must have came out. And he opened the door, and the detective pushed him back in, and he arrested me. And he told him, "Don't come back outside."
Objection, hearsay.
Okay. If you recall, how long... All right, so you're in handcuffs at that point. Where did they put you? Did they put you in the back of a car? Did they put you somewhere else?
They put me in a squad. They removed my jewelry and stuff off of me, and then they put me in one of the patrol cars for Homestead Police Department.
Okay, in the back seat?
Yes.
And they closed the door so that you couldn't open the door, right?
Yeah, and they left me in there for roughly about, I'm going to say 2 hours.
As Assistant State Attorney Alex Bergida unleashes a barrage of past statements and video evidence, Daisy's defenses begin to crumble, each contradiction effectively sealing her fate. The courtroom atmosphere becoming increasingly electric with tension, the outcome all but certain, a dramatic conclusion to a gripping showdown.
I'm Son.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay.
I just want to get a couple things clear real quick. Pedro had committed acts of domestic violence against you in the past, right?
Yes.
And you him?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know you said that you had to change the lock because of Pedro, right?
Yes.
He never had a key.
To the old one.
Right, but after all that went down, he never had a key?
No.
The night that he died, he didn't have a key either, right?
I don't know.
Did you ever give him a key?
Not to the house, no.
Okay, so he never had a key the night that he died.
Maybe his car keys or the house keys to the house in Florida City.
To your house, the keys that you changed, she never had a key to your house.
No.
Okay. And your mom testified earlier, right?
Yeah.
And she said she actually saw him choke you?
Yes.
She actually saw him put his... She actually saw him put his hands around your neck?
Yes.
And she didn't call the police?
No, that's why she kept getting tired.
You're gonna have to keep your voice up. I can barely hear. The answer was
No, that's why she kept getting tired of it.
She saw you, her daughter, get choked and she never called the police?
No.
Your children were home, right?
Yeah.
Her grandchildren were home, right?
Yes.
She could have taken those children out of such a dangerous living condition, right?
Yes.
And she didn't, right?
Right.
She just left your house, right?
Yes.
Leaving you in a dangerous living condition at that point, right?
Yes.
Pedro was so dangerous that your mom actually flew to Texas to move you out of your home and get away from him, right?
Yes.
But she just left you there?
She got tired of the excuses.
She left her grandchildren around such a dangerous man?
Yes.
And you said that these 4 pieces of paper were what's stopping you from calling the police?
Yes.
And that's that's defense exhibit F, just for the record. You could have told the police he broke into your house though, right?
I wouldn't let them deport me. He wasn't a bad guy.
He wasn't a bad guy.
No.
Okay. Now, you killed Pedro, right?
Yes.
And that was in 2022, right?
Yes.
And we're here 3 years later?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when Pedro was killed, he didn't have a knife, right?
No.
He didn't have a gun?
No.
You're the only one that was armed, right?
Yes.
You actually had the deadly force in your hands before you killed him, right?
Yes.
And he was never armed, right?
That night, no.
He, according to you, was just going to lock you out of the house, right?
At that moment, that was what was going to happen, yes.
Okay. Because you didn't want to sleep outside, you shot him, right?
I don't want to keep getting hit.
But you told police you didn't want to sleep outside. That's what he said to you, right?
Yes.
And that was right after, according to you, you cheated on him. Or, I'm sorry, you admitted to cheating on him, right?
Yeah.
While you were armed, you admitted to cheating on him, right?
Yes.
And this was a man that was so dangerous and so angry, so aggressive, you, armed with a firearm, admitted to this man that you cheated on him, right?
I thought maybe that if I finally told him, it would just get it over with.
Okay. After you...
May I need to speak a little louder?
I'm sorry, I said I thought if I finally just told him that it would just get it over with and he would finally, he can move on.
Okay. Now, you waited to call 911, right?
Yes.
You knew you shot him? Right?
Not at first.
As you walk on camera that we saw in state 16, we heard you actually say, "You'll be fine. It's not like I hit a major artery. You'll be fine." Right?
That's not what I said.
Okay. Now, you hid the gun, right?
Yes.
You hid the casing, right?
No.
Knowing you shot him, you waited 1 minute, right? Before you called 911?
No.
Okay. You waited 10 minutes.
Until I got the phone.
Let's wait a minute.
I'm sorry?
Waiting for 1 minute. You waited a minute to call 911, right?
I didn't wait.
There was a 10-minute delay, right?
I'm not sure exactly how long it was.
And we just waited a minute, and you waited 10 of those before 911 was called, right?
I don't know how long it was.
You lied to the 911 operator about who you were, though, right?
I did.
About how old Pedro was?
Yes.
You lied about who he was.
Yes.
And you lied about what happened. Right?
I did.
You actually found him before you called 911, right?
I found him within that very minute of calling.
And you walked up to his body as he died, and you took his phone out of his pockets, right?
I took his phone out, took up the tourniquet, yes.
Okay. And you took his wallet out of his pockets as well, right?
No.
Now, after taking his phone and his wallet out of his pockets, you walked back to that Chevy Trax, right? That rental car?
I never took his wallet off.
And you put the phone back in the Trax?
No.
You put the wallet back in the Trax, right?
I don't remember.
You turned the car off, right? After doing this?
I turned the car off after the police came.
And you pulled your phone out, right?
No, he had the phone that was next to him on the floor.
And you turned your flashlight on over his body, right?
No.
You turned that flashlight on even though that Chevy Trax would have lit up the area a whole lot better, didn't you?
I turned the light on after I was next to him, and that was so I could see where he's at.
And you did all this because you didn't want anyone to know who he was, right?
I expected for him to live, and he would have corroborated the story just for those kids.
But he can't because he's dead, right?
Yeah.
And you hid his phone, you hid his wallet, you turned off the car because you didn't want anybody to know who he was because it'd be easy to piece it back to you as the shooter, right?
I never hid it.
After all, even your sister told the police that if Pedro was dead, you were the one to kill him, right?
She never said that.
Now, after putting his phone and wallet back in the car he rented, that's when you called 911, right?
I put the stuff in the car looking for my phone. I had it already in my hand. I was looking for my phone so I could call 911. I went back to his body just to try to render him aid, and that's when I seen the phone like a foot next to him.
And that's when you started helping him because you were afraid of being caught, right?
No, I started helping him because I didn't want him to die.
Okay. Now, when Officer Nicholson arrived on scene, you lied to him, right?
I did.
Okay. You lied about you didn't know what happened?
I did.
You lied when you told him that you thought you heard a car peel off and heard a gunshot, right?
I did.
That gunshot you heard was actually your gunshot, right?
Yes.
You asked Pedro as he died, we saw his last moments on Earth, what the fuck happened, right?
One of his legs, he couldn't move at all, and I didn't understand why.
But you knew what happened, right?
Not to the other leg.
Because you shot him, right?
I don't see how I didn't understand how he would have had 2 shots at all.
Now, when Officer Nicholson asked Pedro if he was shot, you answered for Pedro, right? Or, excuse me, if he was shot, you answered for Pedro.
I did.
You said something about hitting a major artery, right?
I said I might have. I could have.
Because you knew you had shot him and hit a major artery, right?
No.
And that's even why you told Pedro, as he fled from you, that you'll be fine. It's not like I hit a major artery, right?
I said, you don't want to go to the hospital? I could have hit a major artery. You'll be fine.
Because you were mocking him, right?
If that's how you perceive it.
Now, Officer Aguila also arrived on scene, and you lied to him too, right?
I don't know who that is.
You lied when you told him all you heard was screaming, right?
Yes.
You lied when you told him Pedro left the house 30 minutes before.
Yes.
You lied when you told him that Pedro had left walking by himself, right?
No.
You admitted to Officer Rodriguez, though, that you were married to Pedro, right?
At that point, I felt like I had to tell the truth.
You told him that you were together for 9 years, right?
You were.
But now you knew who Pedro was when you were talking to Officer Rodriguez. You didn't know who he was beforehand, right?
No.
You knew his address now, right?
Yeah.
You told him that Pedro was with his friends that night, right?
I did.
Okay. You told him that he was with friends that night, but you didn't tell him how Pedro got home, did you?
No.
Because you actually picked Pedro up, right?
I did.
You told Officer Rodriguez that Pedro was really flustered and wouldn't talk to you that night, right?
I did.
That he kept coming and going all night?
Yes.
But you never said that you were scared of him to Officer Rodriguez, right?
No.
You told Officer Rodriguez that you could hear him wailing and that's why you drove around, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't tell Officer Rodriguez that you had shot Pedro, right?
No.
You lied to him when you told him that the last time you saw Pedro was 30 or 40 minutes prior to his death, right?
Yes.
You lied about Pedro's friend just leaving in a white van, right?
Yes.
A van that officers actually spent their time frantically searching for, right?
I believe so.
A search that only happened because you lied to them, right?
Yes.
You told him that Pedro was a truck driver and not into any shit, right?
I wasn't trying to assassinate his character.
You told Officer Edwards that Pedro wasn't a bad guy, right?
He's not.
Right. And that nobody would do this to him, right? That's what you told him?
I shouldn't have.
Except you, because you shot Pedro, right?
I had to.
You told Officer Edwards that Pedro had a pass, but that was a long time ago, right?
Yes.
That's been over 10 years, right?
Yes.
You told him Pedro was a good guy, right?
He was.
Officer Edwards was actually pretty nice to you, right?
I don't remember who was who anymore.
Sure. He let you go into your home?
Okay.
He let you use the bathroom?
Yes.
When Detective Danny Morales came, you actually got aggressive with him though, right?
Not at all.
You threw a chair at him, right?
No, I didn't.
When he started patting you down, you actually realized what he was going to find, that key to that Chevy Trax, and you tried to hide it, right?
I don't believe he himself even patted me down.
And that's the same Trax that you hid Pedro's belongings with, right?
I never hid anything.
Because you didn't want anyone to know that you were hiding his things, right?
I never hid anything.
When you went to headquarters, the police headquarters, you were actually angry, right?
I was.
And you told officers that you wouldn't put clean clothes on, right?
No, I didn't.
You actually said to them that you wouldn't put that shit on when they try to give you clean clothes, right?
Oh, yes.
You asked them why they were treating you like you were the one who did it, right?
Yeah.
Even though you knew that you did kill Pedro, right?
Yes.
You told them that you got into a car accident, right?
My truck a couple days prior.
Okay. And that's what you told them the bruises came from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you even said that Pedro didn't cause those bruises, right?
Yes.
Now, when Detective Janoris and Detective Cruz were getting background information on you, you actually agreed with them that you guys lived together, right?
No.
He paid rent for that home?
No, he didn't.
Okay, because he actually lived there.
Not anymore.
You told them that you weren't allowed to have friends, right?
I couldn't.
And you told them that you couldn't have social media, right?
But I still hid it.
You had an Instagram.
Just because I wasn't allowed to have it doesn't mean I didn't go behind his back when he was gone and still download it.
You had Facebook.
Same.
And you had a TikTok.
I wouldn't consider that social media.
Even though you told officers, you lied to officers and said you weren't allowed to have social media, right?
I wasn't allowed to have it at all.
You even told officers that you weren't allowed to see your cousins, right?
I wasn't, which is why we had to sneak around.
Even though 5 days prior, you claimed your cousin, David, was at your house, right?
And look what happened.
Now, that was an incident that you said you forgot about, right?
What do you mean?
You weren't worried about that anymore, right?
I never said I forgot about anything.
And you weren't afraid of Pedro after that, right?
Like I said, when he was sober, he was a good guy. He was a monster when he was on drugs.
You had cameras at your house, right?
I did.
Cameras recorded everything, right?
I did.
And they captured days, weeks, months prior, right?
Yes.
And those cameras would capture people coming and going from your house, right?
Yes.
Including David, right?
Yes.
Including Pedro, right?
Yes.
You told him that he was staying at the house on and off, right? Pedro was staying on and off at your house.
Yes.
And you said that he actually had a severe mental disorder because he would accuse you of cheating on him and sending naked pictures of yourself to other men, right?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled. We're talking about the totality of the relationship. I'm not speaking about right then and there. I'm speaking to the officers about years on end, how he was.
So let me ask my question again.
I left him in February.
If you can let me ask my question, excuse me. You said that he had and would accuse you of cheating on him with other men and sending other men naked pictures of yourself, right?
Yes.
And you denied, right?
To him?
Yes.
Yeah, previously.
Okay, but you actually were doing that, right?
At this point in time, yeah, I was.
Okay. You told them that he would stay at his parents' house if he didn't stay at your home, right?
Yes.
And you also told them that's where he would stay if he didn't sleep at that's actually a house that you would stay at too. You weren't staying at your own home, right?
The only time I lived there was years before that incident. You're speaking maybe 6-7 years ago.
Okay. The night you killed Pedro, he went to a friend's house, right?
Yes.
He was there late?
Yes.
You were actually annoyed that he was there late?
No.
You knew his friends picked him up and he went over there earlier that day, right?
Yeah.
And because it was late, you actually told your mom that you were going to go back and pick this, quote, idiot up, right?
Yes.
Because you said he was probably drunk off his ass, right?
Yes.
He didn't ask you to pick him up?
He did.
He didn't demand for you to pick him up?
Before he left, he did. He didn't have a way to get out. He didn't have a way to leave.
He didn't threaten you if you didn't pick him up, right?
No.
You actually said that you went on your own and it wasn't, quote, a problem for you to go pick him up, right?
Because he didn't call me right then and there.
Now, you got to Enriquez's house, right?
Yes.
And you waited for Pedro outside, right?
At first.
But according to you, he was taking too long, right?
Yes.
So you went inside?
Yes.
And you weren't afraid of him then?
No.
You drove him after that to get beer, right?
Yes.
And you guys were fighting about him, you cheating on him while you drove, right?
As it started, yeah.
And you continued lying to him about your infidelity, right?
Yes.
And then you went home, right?
Yeah.
You didn't tell the police that he choked you, right?
There was a lot of things I didn't tell them.
You didn't tell them that he attacked you, right?
Yes, I did.
And you said to them that that night, all you did was argue and then laugh and then argue and then laugh, right?
I told them before he was shot that he grabbed me by my hair and he threw me on the floor before I grabbed the gun.
Now, after all of that, after Pedro had left, you went outside to smoke a cigarette, right?
Yes.
And Pedro wasn't home, right?
No.
He actually had left the home at that point, right?
Yes.
You had the gun, right?
Yes.
You saw Pedro, right?
He crept up from the back of the house, yes.
You admitted at that point that you were cheating, right?
Yes.
And you were holding the gun, right?
I wasn't holding it, it was next to me on the floor.
And he told you that you were going to sleep outside that night, right?
That was after he threw me on the floor.
And he ran, right?
He ran in my house.
And you fired as he ran, right?
Yes.
And his back was facing you, right?
Yes.
He was running away, right?
No. He was running to the house.
After you shot him, you actually mocked him and said, "It's not like I hit a major artery, you'll be fine," right?
It's not quoted right.
Please, feel free. What did you tell him?
I said, "Do you want to go to the hospital? I could have hit a major artery. You'll be fine." And it wasn't to mock him. I was speaking so fast and my adrenaline was through the roof. That was a big guy. You know what it's like to get hit by somebody that's 6'4", 260 pounds?
And instead of helping him, even possibly saving his life, you actually went and hit that firearm, right?
I couldn't find him at first.
The gun you hid was the same gun you used to kill him, right?
Yes.
Then you hid the casing, right?
I never got a casing.
The casing that the police never found, right?
It didn't look good enough.
You told police, though, that you said to him right after shooting him, "Where are you going? Where are you at?" Right?
Yes.
But that's actually not true, right?
I said something before, you can hear it in the audio. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
And when Detective Janors confronted you with what you actually said, you changed your story, didn't you?
I didn't change it, I just honestly was lost.
You said you could only remember bits and pieces at this point, right?
Yes.
That you don't remember saying anything to him, right?
I didn't remember saying anything at first.
But that's actually not the only time you changed your story about what you said to Pedro after you shot him, right?
I'm not certain.
Okay, because you said you had called out to him and said you'd take him to the hospital if you really did hit him, right?
I did say that.
That's not what you said though, right?
I did say that.
Because you were angry, right?
But I did tell him that I was going to take him to the hospital.
And you were mad as hell, right?
I was.
You shot Pedro as he ran away and you killed him, right?
He didn't run away from me.
I have no further questions. Please stop.
Ultimately, Daisy was found guilty of second-degree murder, which under Florida law means a killing caused by an act that shows a depraved mind, ill will, hatred, spite, or reckless disregard for human life, without premeditation. So the jury did not have to find planning or intent to kill, only that the act was extremely dangerous and unjustified.
Number 1, did the defendant actually possess a firearm during the commission of the crime? Yes. Number 2, did the defendant discharge a firearm during the commission of the crime? Yes. 3. Did the defendant discharge a firearm causing death during the commission of the crime? Yes. So say we all, the 16th day of October 2025, signed by the foreperson. All right, Marilise, we're going to poll the jury.
The jury, if you heard the judge read the verdict, as I call your name, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Keenan Bowden?
Yes.
This has been a presentation by Criminal Aperture. Consider subscribing if you enjoy the content, and remember, stay sharp, stay aware, and have a great day.